Uh, okay, perfect. So guys, recording got started. Let's have a detailed discussion. Because you remember in the yesterday's session, I just talked about the higher level, what is framework, how we create the framework, what are the basic tools which we usually use whenever we are working with Selenium with Java. Today I wanted to convey a few things before I move ahead. There are some manual testing contents, guys, which I was supposed to kind of cover. Okay. So those manual testing contents are like, I know that it's a little bit theoretical. So what I can do is all this, you can say manual testing notes, guys, I'll be sharing across like all of you. At a higher level, I would request everyone to please go through this, because what I can have is like while explaining the Selenium or let's say Java related stuff, I'll try to make sure that these concepts are also being covered. Because if I go slide by slide and try to explain the theoretical part, right, it will be, I can do that, not a problem. But at the same time, those who are, let's say, having some queries related to manual testing, I would request everyone to can please go through this slide. I will share all the, you can say, this PDF, and you guys can just have a look at a higher level. Okay. So today, I'll be moving on to like little bit technical side. Okay. So let me open Sublime. Okay. So the very first discussion, what we what I wanted to have is like, regarding the, you can say, Java part only, before I kind of move into Java. So everybody are comfortable with the Java installation and setup in their Windows machines and Mac machine. Anybody facing any technical challenge or issues in setting up the environment variable, setting up the Java home, you can say path in environment variable, because in Mac, you guys don't need to do anything. You just need to go to their official website and download the respective Java version. And once you do that, you are good to go, guys. Okay. For Mac user, there will be no I mean, no, you can say challenge, guys. Okay. You just need to go to the official website of, you can say, Java, and environment variable setting up, all those things is not required because it is automatically configured. That's I'm talking about the Mac user. Okay. For Windows user, I have shared the detail over the WhatsApp, you can say group. If anybody is facing challenge, please feel free to kind of ask your doubts, queries, questions. Okay. I'll be trying to make sure that everybody are on the same, you can say this thing, JDK version, whatever you are downloading. But at a higher level, I wanted to let me show you so that everybody, let's say, install the correct, you can say JDK version into their machine. So over here, guys, when you go to this particular options, right? Over here, you see this download Java, correct? One option is either you can go to Oracle official website, and from that particular website, you can download the respective Java. Okay. So, let me show you that as well. Uh, okay. So everybody, I hope you can see my screen. Currently, right now, like 20th September, there was one release, guys. Okay. Which was JDK 23. Okay. Prior to that, we have JDK 21. Okay. So whatever latest concept with respect to CI/CD, right? Because we have some open, you can say, questions with respect to JDK 23. So my request would be everyone, please download and have JDK 21. Okay, which is obviously having all the latest concept with respect to whatever sequencing collection framework, right? So whatever new change log has been introduced with respect to JDK 21, all this will be available. Okay. Now, like over here, you can see that we are having the respective, you can say user. Let's say those who are from Windows machine, they can download the x64 installer. Okay, just download this and just do next this activity. And once it is done, guys, in Windows, I have shared the link on which you can see the screenshot of setting up the environment variable, setting up the Java home. Once you do that, everyone can go to terminal and please try to search, or let's say try to do Java hyphen version. If you are able to see this particular version when you are kind of doing that particular command over terminal CMD, it means that it has been successfully installed into your machine. Okay, it's a one-time activity, guys, and all the editor, whatever you will be using, right, it will be applicable for all the editor, irrespective. Okay, independently. Second, those who are, let's say, working on Mac machine, guys, they can kind of uh, you can say download the DMG file. Okay, and once you download, just make sure that you try to click and automatically one window will pop up where you don't need to change any of the path, any setting. Just go with the flow, and once you do that in the Mac, you will once it is done successfully, just go to terminal and just write Java hyphen version. So once you do that, guys, you will see something like this. Okay, if anybody, please feel free to kind of ask in between. Let's say after today's session, I would request this. Actually, I told yesterday only, if anybody is facing issue with respect to Java installation, Java setup, please feel free to ask your doubts even over the WhatsApp group, even over the chat window, because this is very important. Like first step, once it is installed successfully, then we can kind of jump onto the practical, you can say, activity. Okay, so I hope everybody will be like those who are already having 17 version, or let's say prior to that, there might be a question, should I update my Java version to 21? The answer is, again, it's up to you. 17 is absolutely fine, guys, no problem. And but if you want to have little bit advanced concept about Java with respect to collection topics, with respect to sequencing topic, so for that, you might need to update to Java 21. Otherwise, it is absolutely fine, guys. Okay. So I hope everyone are clear with the installation part for Windows user as well as for Mac user. Okay. Moving to second thing, second very important tool which we will be talking about, that is, I told you, you have the option. You can go with Eclipse, you can go with IntelliJ, okay, which are like the preferred, you can say, editor whenever we are working on the automation framework for, you can say, UI, API, anything, guys. Okay, so these are the preferred tool comparatively to, let's say, PyCharm or VS Code when we are working with, you can say, Java with the Selenium. Okay, so at a higher level, I'll just make sure that everybody are clear with the installation part. So just go to Google and just type IntelliJ download. Okay, I do have already in my machine right now, that is 2023 version. So go to this particular first link. Okay, go to the first link, and you can just go click here. You can see that choose your respective machine, Windows, Mac, and Linux, and just click on download, guys. Okay, over here. So once you do that, please remember, it will create a shortcut. It may take around 5 to 7 minutes, guys, because this particular file is little bit size is high. Once it's done, yeah, go ahead, please. Okay. So once it is done, please search for IntelliJ IDEA. So this particular editor should get popped up. Okay, this is about the IntelliJ, guys. Okay, those who are, let's say, comfortable with IntelliJ, because the reason why IntelliJ, why not Eclipse, again, both has, you can say, pros and cons, guys. The reason why IntelliJ, because the plugin support, the look and feel, the way it is handling the IntelliSense, the way it is handling the themes of particular project, the way it is handling the color coding for all the tags, keywords, all the methods, whatever we will be using. Okay. It is comparatively more, you can say, beautiful compared to Eclipse, guys. Okay. So that's the reason people are kind of having more, you can say, uh, this thing towards IntelliJ. Okay. But the one who are, let's say, traditional, you can say this thing, those has the idea on shortcuts of Eclipse and everything, they might kind of go with Eclipse only, because the shortcuts, the configuration settings, they already know where to set the environment variable, where to kind of build the project, where to update the dependency, where jar file will be saved, everything, right? So for that particular purpose only, people might kind of switch to Eclipse as well. Clear, everyone? Okay. So for Eclipse download, guys, just Google Eclipse download. Okay. So you will go to their official website. This is their official website. And I would request everyone to please click on this download and just do like normal next traditional approach, and you will see the Eclipse icon similar to, like, I'll just show you. This is how the Eclipse icon. I do have the two Eclipse version, right? Over here, you can see one is 23 and second is 2022, guys. Okay. So it's a one-time activity. So if I'm repeating again, guys, if anybody is facing any technical issues, any challenge while doing this particular two activity, please feel free to ask your queries, doubts, questions, whatever it is. Okay. So over here, moving to the little bit more in detail about Java. Okay. So at when I already mentioned that we will be kind of going with JDK 21, guys, not 17. Okay, please remember, for Java. And now I'm coming to little bit technical side of Java. We have three things, guys, when it comes to Java. We have JDK, we have JVM, we have JRE. Okay. I'll obviously talk about this in detail. Okay. What is JDK? What is JVM? And what is JRE? Okay. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit. JDK stands for Java Development. Let me write in full this thing caps, guys. JRE. Okay. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. Java Virtual Machine. Okay. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. Java Runtime Environment. Okay. Now, just to give you a little bit insight about each of this technical things, guys, because whenever you download Java, guys, you will see this folder structure into your program file, bin folder. There will be JDK, JRE, right? So you should be aware about what all these components are. Okay. So first, I'm talking about JDK, guys. JDK is nothing but a development kit which is responsible for developing, maintaining the Java application. Okay. Development of what? Development of Java application. Okay. And it contains everything, whatever is required. Okay. Like it contains both, actually. It contains both. That is JVM as well as JRE. Please remember this, guys. It contains both JVM and JRE. So basically, it is responsible for writing and compiling all your Java related code. Okay. So you might have obviously seen the command, like for compiling, we are using Java C program file, like program name .java, right, in your command prompt. So that is what it is done with the help of JVM. So JDK is containing, you can consider all the debugger, all the compiler, and all the other utilities, whichever, like whatever is required for our troubleshoot for debugging the Java related code. Okay. So next is JVM, guys. JVM is kind of, you can consider, see, you can consider this at the third level, guys. Okay. So JVM, you can consider at the third level. Okay. Let me do over here. Okay. So after JDK, you can consider JRE actually. Why? Because JRE contains what? It contains what? JVM. Okay. Please remember, JRE contains JVM, and it actually already has all the libraries and already all the required .java file. Okay. Whatever is required to trigger and run your application. Okay. And the last one which we have is JVM, guys, which is nothing but you can consider a engine basically. This is an engine which is running your Java bytecode. Okay. So usually your language is converted into machine language, okay, machine code, and that is something who is responsible for that JVM. So JVM, JRE and JDK. So JDK contains both JRE and JVM. JRE contains JVM, and JVM is nothing but an engine that is running your Java actual code, converts like whatever you write Java language syntax, right? That is converted into a machine language, which is understood by your Java compiler. And on that basis, it will run the code, guys. Okay. So JDK, JRE, JVM, these are the three major components. Whenever you do any kind of installation, you will see those folder structures. So I would request everyone to please go through this folder structure whenever you download Java, guys. Okay. Moving on, guys, I'll quickly move to, you can consider IntelliJ. Okay. So here is the look and feel of IntelliJ. This is how it looks like, guys. Okay. So I might be using the older version, guys. Okay. So these are some projects which is kind of showing up over here. Okay. But for you guys, you will see nothing over here. Okay. And those who are, let's say, altogether new, okay, you will see this four options: plugin, learn, customize, and this particular plugins is managed and maintained by JetBrains, guys. Okay, JetBrains is an organization which is managing and maintaining this particular plugin. This plugin has got the payment premium mode as well. Like if there are some let's say some you can say developer usually have the premium subscriptions as well. Okay, so for our QA automation, that is not required. We can purely work on the whatever open source we have, right? So we can purely work on this particular version of IntelliJ. Okay. So just wanted to get your, you can say, input, guys, whether you guys are comfortable with IntelliJ or you can say Eclipse. I am okay with both, guys. Whatever is your call, we can kind of do the practice in that particular editor. So anybody has anything to add, because I am open to use both Eclipse as well as IntelliJ, guys. Okay, so if you guys are comfortable with IntelliJ, I'll go with IntelliJ. Our complete, let's say, all our project related activity, starting from Java coding till Selenium projects, everything we will do in IntelliJ. Let's say if those who, let's say, wants to go with Eclipse, please feel free to kind of, you can.
IntelliJ,
I
I would
don't.
prefer IntelliJ.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I'm currently doing my project in automation in Eclipse only. So
Mhm.
for that sake only, I have joined this class because Eclipse will be much
Mhm.
better for me for current project to execute.
No problem. I see that some of
Mhm.
has mixed review. Actually, I can see some of them are saying Eclipse, some of them are saying
Mhm.
Eclipse. So guys, please remember one thing. Uh, although you do project in Eclipse or IntelliJ, you can import any which ways the project, whatever you created in Eclipse directly into IntelliJ. There will be no, you can say dependency issue. You can say whatever code which was working in Eclipse, okay, the same thing will work in your IntelliJ as well. So don't get, you can say, if you are getting any error or something out of the box compile error or something, please feel free to ask your queries and doubts, guys. So I might do both, guys. Okay, so I'll start with Eclipse. Okay, and one of the framework we might two or one or I would say first framework we might do in Eclipse. Okay, Rest Assured or BDD Cucumber we might do in this thing IntelliJ, guys. So in that way, we will try to cover both the editor, guys. I hope that is okay with everyone. Okay. So initially, I'm going with the Java topics. For that sake, I might use Eclipse. Okay, and once let's say I am into framework section, I might use IntelliJ. So okay, so don't get you can say this thing. Why I'm using Eclipse? Why not IntelliJ? So I'll try to cover maximum. You can say functionality in both the editors case. Okay, so I hope that is fine for all because there was mixed review. Some of them are completely IntelliJ, some of them are saying Eclipse. So I'll try to start with Eclipse and later on I'll move to IntelliJ as well. Okay, when we are, let's say, moving to framework sections and everything. Okay, so perfect. Yeah, let's get started with Eclipse. So guys, you might,
So I have a question here. I'm sorry for the same.
no
So
problem.
is like as we are writing all the codes in Eclipse. So
Mm-hmm.
in future, will we be able to import the same code in IntelliJ itself?
Yes, that's
That
what I
work?
mentioned.
Uh-huh.
Whatever code, whatever project you have created in your Eclipse, right? Obviously,
Right.
you have some workspace or something, right? You will
Mhm.
store everything at that particular location. Please download IntelliJ and straight away go to project, import that project because what IntelliJ will look for, it will look for pom.xml, guys. So if it is available, and although we have the Java already installed into our machine, perfect. So it will not throw any kind of error. Whatever we have practiced, right, with respect to basics of Java, it will show into your IntelliJ as well. You will be able to compile, you will be able to run whatever code you wanted to run. Okay. So that is absolutely fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. So let me close everything, guys, before I move ahead. So I wanted to explain little bit on the editor as well because this is very important. So on the left hand side, guys, you will see the project explorer. Automation team can have 6 project, 5 project, depending upon what project they are working on. Okay. Usually we have API as well as UI. Sometimes let's say BDD Cucumber, something like that. So naming convention we will talk about in coming like next 1 or 2 minutes. Other than that, guys, please feel free because I know that I in the yesterday's session I mentioned that I'll talk about manual testing, but obviously those are some theoretical topics, so that's the reason I skip directly to automation or let's say Java related. I'll share the notes of manual testing with respect to what is boundary value analysis, although we will cover those into our actual test cases. Okay, so at that time we will talk about those terms, but I'm not going, let's say, what is white box testing, what is black box testing. So I hope that is fine with everyone. If at any point, if anybody is having any let's say doubts with respect to manual testing concept also, please feel free to drop your query, doubt, questions over this window, over WhatsApp, wherever you feel comfortable. Okay. So moving on, over here, you will see something called as file, edit, navigate, search options. Okay. So as and when required, we'll talk about this. On this particular section, you will see the project explorer. Okay. So where all your projects are maintained, managed. Okay. For the first time user, you will see a welcome screen. Over here, you will see cross button. Those who are, let's say, installing the Eclipse for the first time, just click on cross and just go to file and create a new project. Okay, straight away. Those who are, let's say, installing the Eclipse for the first time, I'm talking about that. So over here, this all things are like I'll try to use one by one when we are kind of creating the project. Okay. So out of this section, guys, we are mostly using the section of file for creating a new project, whether it is of Java, Gradle, ANT, or let's say Maven. Okay. So most of the time we are kind of clicking on file and start creating our project. Okay. So over here, you will see you can say screen will get you can say this thing where you will see the console area. This is back button for navigating to particular whatever screen you were previously, right? And over here you can see the run button, debug mode. You can see the package icon, class icon. Okay, and here you can open a particular project, open a task. Okay, so let's move and get started with creation of our first Java project. So we will be having a Java project first. Okay, later on we will move on to build management, build you can say this thing Maven later on, not right now. Okay, it is not required. It's not the you can say context right now. It is not required. Okay, so just go to file. Okay, please try to if you guys wants to practice at the same time, it is fine. Those who are comfortable after let's say viewing, and let's say after that you can refer the recorded session and try to do the same activity. So go to file, click on new, and just click on Java project. Okay, so here you can see we are having multiple option, out of which right now our full concentration should be on Java project. Okay, just click on Java project. You will see a screen saying that create a Java project. Okay, over here you need to provide the detail. Okay, so I'm providing the details saying that September, sorry, my bad, October 9 to 10, 2024. Okay, so this is the name of the project which I'm giving. Okay, 2024. Perfect. So this is the name of the project which I am giving. Now the concern is what is the naming convention I am using, right? That's a question which you might be having when we are working framework from scratch, how we should name our project. That's the query questions most of you guys might be having. So it completely depends on the project which you are working on, which module you are working on. If you are doing a automation for particular module, so please try to use that particular name. It's not a concern. The reason is at the later stage of the, you can say this thing. Yeah, Nile, go ahead, please. Please install it. No worries. You can install. Uh, so naming convention, I was talking about, guys. So naming convention, it's completely on you, because ideally what happens is the project name should be such that whoever is referring your project, because at the same time you will be sharing this particular project to multiple QA automation engineer or someone, right? They should refer their code, whatever you have written, they should be able to understand what convention you have used, all those things. Okay. And over here, there are some naming convention which we will talk during our Maven project creation, guys. Okay, so right now you can see that I have just given the name so that everybody can understand. Over here, it is the location where your workspace will be saved. If you want to update this location, please select this checkbox and please click on Browse, update the location where all your project will be stored. Okay, so right now I'm not changing this. Over here, you can see the version of Java. So right now in my particular machine, it is having the support till Java 21. Okay. So over here, you can see that the default compiler complies level for the current workspace is 17. The new project will be a project specific compiler compliance. So Java, if you want to change JRE also, please select this and click on Open JDK 21. Okay. So this options are available for you to kind of change the JDK version as well. Okay. So if you feel, let's say, no, I want to continue with Java 17, don't update anything. If you see that, no, I will continue with JRE 17, please don't update anything. Okay. So from here, you can, even if you click on configure JRE, it will automatically download the JRE as well, whatever is required. Okay, so right now in my machine, it is saying that JRE 17, which is default, guys. Okay, so if you wanted to update, it is well and good. You can update, guys. Next is project layout. If you want to, let's say, create default project folder, right? So the over here you can see the folder structure. So if you want to have some update to that particular folder structure, you can kind of check this particular radio button for having the root for source and class file. Okay, and if you want to have separate folder, you can kind of select the particular this radio button. Next is working set. If we want to have additional projects as well, if you want to create modules, so for that purpose, so this section is something when you create your project internally, there will be some files which will be getting created for the first time who are, let's say, creating a project from scratch. Okay. So I'll click on cancel again. I'm repeating the steps. Just go to file,
தண்ணி மட்டும் எடுத்துக்க
go to new, and please click on Java project.
தாத்தா எடுத்து சொல்லிட்டோம்.
Okay. So let me, okay, perfect. Perfect. So I'm giving the name again. So over here, October 9 to 10 p.m. 2024. I'm just making this as capital. Okay. Naming, let's say you are working on Citibank project, something. So you can give Citibank underscore whatever module you are working. You are working on, let's say, SharePoint or any of the project. You can give that particular name, guys. Okay. After that, over here, once you do that, you can click on next. Okay. And over here, you will see SRC folder. Just one folder will be created because right now what we have done is we have just created, guys, Java project. We are not doing anything with respect to Maven, Gradle, and anything, right? So it is just creating one simple module.info, and it will create this particular SRC folder. That's it. There are no dependent jar, nothing, no pom.xml, nothing is created. Just one folder will be created, that is SRC. Okay, so click on finish. Okay, so I did a mistake. Right click, rename, refactor, and just change this to capital O. Perfect. So perfect. So everyone can see that we have the SRC folder, we have the JRE, all the Java related code, and in this is a folder, guys. And just once you create this, our complete focus will be on this particular SRC folder. Till this point, anybody has any queries, doubts, questions, please, you can drop your questions over chat window. Okay. If, let's say those who are, let's say, practicing at the same time, now the thing is you need to understand little bit theoretical concept. Okay. So before I move to the theoretical part, just I am showing you on SRC folder, just do a right click, okay, and just click on new, guys. Okay, now we will talk little bit on the theoretical part, guys. Okay, so let us kind of come to Sublime. Okay, so the very first thing which we need to understand is for Eclipse I'm talking about. It's not for Eclipse, it is applicable for IntelliJ also. The first thing is package, guys. Okay, what is package? What is class file? Okay, these two terms are very, very important. Okay, now package is something you can consider a collection of a class file. What is package, guys? Package is nothing but a collection of a class file. Okay, so it can be you can consider .java file. It can be, let's say, anything, guys. Okay, I'm not saying that it should be .java only. It can be .java, .feature, .txt, .csv, .excel, anything will be kind of part of your package. Okay, so package at a broader level, is nothing but you can consider a particular module, okay, where all your test case or something will reside. So package name is very, 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 very important, guys. Whatever name you give a valid name so that whoever is referring to that particular package, they can understand that, yeah, this particular package is talking about so and so functionality. Okay, so I'll talk about this, how to create a package and what naming convention you need to use for this particular package. Perfect. Next is class file, guys. Class file is nothing but a .java file, which you can consider a utility file, actual test case file, everything, whatever you can see over here, class, right? When I did a right click, you saw an option called as class. So every time whenever we are creating a new file, it by default, the extension will be .java. Okay, so please remember this. Next is we have few things such as interface, we have enums, we have normal file, we have folder, we have you can say project, again project inside project. Okay, because what happens when you work in a multiple project, guys, it may happen that inside this particular project you are holding or you are having around 4 to 5 different project, because for each module, let's say your QA architect has said that for each module you will create a separate project. So it may happen, guys. So just go to new, you will see that over here also you can create a Maven project, guys. Okay, so don't get confused if you see a project inside a project. Okay, so please remember, you can have that, but ideally from the QA standpoint, we usually have single project that will be, let's say, for the UI automation, that will be, let's say, for the API automation, okay, depending upon our complexity of the application. Perfect. Moving to SRC again, just do right click, click on new. Over here, you can see different things, right? Out of which right now our focus will be on two things. One is package and second is class. Okay, so just click on package. So what is Java package? Java package is nothing but which is holding all the class file which is related to similar module, which is related to same module. Okay, now I'll give you an example by referring to one of the website. I know like most of you guys are already aware about that website, that is open source, you can say Orange HRMS, guys, correct? So when you go to this particular website, on the left hand side, everyone can see that we are having admin, PIM, leaves, time. I'll only consider 4 part right now because there are around 12 to this thing, 10 to 12, you can say modules. So guys, what is package basically? I'm trying to relate what is packaged with this particular example, guys. Okay. If anybody has any queries, please feel free to interrupt me in between. So now if I consider the UI test case which I'm creating, correct? So what happens, like whenever I'm working with admin, you can say options or admin menu options, which is available over here, I can create a package saying admin. Okay, what I can do, guys, I can create a package saying admin. Okay, under admin, what I can have when I go to this particular website, if you go to this particular website, under admin, guys, everyone can see that we are having user management, jobs, organization, qualification. So just at high level, I'm giving an example, guys. Don't get this. This is the real time example. Just I'm trying to make sure that how the packages are maintained. Okay. So over here we have user organization, we have job, we have let's say, what is that? User management. Perfect. User management, jobs, organization. Okay, I'll just consider around three examples, like three this thing. So now the concern is whether admin should be folder or whether it should be package. The answer is again same thing. You can have a package inside a package as well. There is no harm in that. You can have a package inside a package as well. Now admin is a package. Inside this package, I'm creating three more new packages. Now user management will hold all the test case which are related to user test cases basically. Okay. then job will hold all the test cases with respect to job related. Okay, so it will hold all the page object file, test data file, whatever is required, guys. Okay, so that's how we usually manage and maintains our package naming convention as well as our folder structure as well. Okay, so I hope everyone are clear. So right now under SRC, guys, I am just creating one package. So as soon as you type, guys, at the top you can see the recommendation also. It is discouraged to use the package name. You should always start the package name with the lowercase letter. Okay, that is what Java is saying. Java is saying that don't start with capital. Always use the naming convention with the smaller, you can say over here. Okay, don't use uppercase. That's what the convention is. Like there are few convention, guys, which Eclipse is suggesting you, okay, by default. And usually over here, one more thing I would like to highlight. Let's say you are working on a project which is having the name as Orange HRMS or Citibank. Okay, I'll take an example of Citibank. So usually in real time, when you work in a framework, you can say development, usually the naming convention is like this, guys. com.citibank.saving. Okay, let's say I am working on saving module of Citibank project. Okay, so this is how we usually give the naming convention. Okay, com dot name of the project or something and dot module name or something on which I am working. So you can have multiple packages over here, saving, current, something like that. And that's how you provide the naming convention. Okay, that I will talk about this later on when we are having the Maven project, guys. Okay, so I'm creating a new this thing java.basics. Okay, so I'm giving the name as java.basics. So once you give the name, please click on finish. There is no extension, nothing is required. Okay, so you can see that the package got created under SRC. Now moving to one more level, just do a right click over here. You will see again you have the option of creating a package. Okay, so you can see that it is showing you java.basic. Now what is your next package you wanted to create? Okay, so just give the name of that particular package. It will create inside that particular package java.basic. So once you create a package, guys, usually what we do is we start writing or we start creating our actual test cases. So now what we will have is we will do our first 2 or 3 test cases, not test cases, I would say Java basic codes. Okay. So before moving, just do a right click over here. Okay. Just click on new. Over here, you can see that we are having something called as green icon for class. So here, when you hover, you can see auto suggestion saying that create a Java class, create a Java class. So basically, when I click on this, you will see a pop-up, okay, this particular pop-up. And over here, you need to understand few things actually, okay, because this particular screen contains some of the Java basic keywords as well. Okay, so over here, guys, please try to understand. You can see the source folder. I didn't updated anything, so it is same as what we were having previously. You can see the package name. I didn't do any change over here. Now the thing is you need to have the name for the class file. Okay, so I'm just giving the name. So as soon as you give the name, you can see at the top, guys, the naming convention which is needed for the class file is always uppercase. First letter should be always uppercase. Okay, first test Java. So I'm just giving a like this syntax, like first test Java. And below name, guys, you can see that we are having modifier. Okay, so you can see public, package, private, select, protected, abstract, final, static. All these are keywords in Java, guys. I'm repeating again, all these are keywords in Java. Clear, everyone? All these are keywords in Java. We will obviously talk about all these keywords in the coming session. Okay. Before I move ahead, I wanted to know from you guys, can anybody explain what is superclass? Anyone? What is superclass? You can
Like
unmute
uh,
your mic.
The
Yeah, yeah.
properties of which class we are inheriting into our class. That's a superclass. So our class will be subclass and this class will be superclass. We are inheriting the properties from this class to our class.
So you can consider this as what? This as
Our class, it will be a subclass, the one we are
subclass.
writing first test Java, and superclass is like we are inheriting the properties from that class to our class.
Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything? Perfect. So all the classes, guys, whatever we are creating in Java, it is having a parent, guys. So that's a question, interview question saying that when you create any class, do the that particular class has a parent or not? Like right now, obviously I showed you over here, correct? Like java.lang.object. But if I would have clicked on finish and at that time, if I would have asked like, hey, for first test Java, who is the parent? Because obviously this superclass, subclass, and parent and child. So don't get confused. Both are having like both are the same naming convention. Some of them are using parent child, some of them are using super sub. Okay, so don't get confused. So by default, whatever class we will be creating, guys, into our Java, okay, that will have by default as a parent called as java.lang.object. Okay, now concern is what is java.lang.object? Java.lang is a package language basically under which object is a class file, guys. Okay, so every Java file, irrespective, okay, whether you have created here, you have created anywhere, guys, by default, there will be a parent and that parent class is object class. Okay, please remember this. Now over here you have something called as interface also. Okay, now obviously I'm not talking about interface. Interface is a huge topic, guys. Here you can manage, maintain the interface also, because for interface we have different keywords. For superclass we have different keywords which is required for having the parent-child relation. Which method stub would you like to create? So it is having three options, guys. One is public static void main. So guys, here you can see some of the concept Java which is showing up over here. Second is constructor and third is inherited abstract method. And over here you can see the generate comments also. So I'll check all the options, guys. The reason is I wanted to show how this will look when you click on finish. Okay, so I'll check all the options and I'll move to the next page. Over here, just click on finish, guys. So as soon as you click finish, guys, you will see something like this particular code. Okay, so I wanted to explain each line before I move ahead. So first thing is package. Package is a keyword, guys, java.basic. So here you can see that the name of the package, the same name will be displayed over here. Next is the class name, public class first test Java. So whatever name you give over here while creating the same name, it will create the class file. Okay, so this is basically called as class file. Next, you can see like this is the syntax for multi-line comment in Java. Okay, so this is a syntax for what? Multi-line comment in Java. Then you can again see some arguments, guys, and then you can see public static void main. Okay, I missed one thing, that is this one. Okay, what is this, guys? Anybody? This is the
Method.
method, correct? But this is constructor.
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 Okay, so this is constructor because constructor is having one property saying that it should have the same name as class name. Whatever is the class name, that should be the name over here. Otherwise, it is not a constructor. This is the first property of constructor. Um, so because why it got created, guys, you remember in the previous screen, I checked three options, guys. One is I want this, one is I want constructor, one is I want comment also, right? So for that reason, it has created this particular structure. Okay. Now let me explain little bit more detail about the keywords which we are having. So first is public, guys. Then we have class and class name. I hope everyone are clear. It is not mandatory that we should use the access modifier, guys. Okay. If you don't use, then also it is absolutely fine. But we have some advantages. Obviously, we have some inheritance concept. We have, you can say, using the variables in different package, those type of concept. For that reason, we are having total 4 access modifier. Okay, out of that, public is one, protected, default, and private. So right now, you can see that it is public. So public means whoever wants to access this particular class file, they can access it, guys. That's the reason we had made this as public. Now over here, you can remove this also. That's not a problem, guys. Okay, you can remove this. This is nothing but an access modifier. If you want, you can keep it. If you don't want, you can ignore it. If you don't keep, by default, it consider as the default access modifier. Okay, if nothing is present, what will happen? This will be considered under which access modifier? It will be considered under default. Okay, if you don't write anything. Next is we have public, static, void, main. Public, I already spoke about, because you need to have the main method. It should be mandatory public, guys. Static is a keyword. Okay, static is a keyword in Java. Void is a return type for that particular method, and main is the name of the method, that is main. You cannot change this name. If you think that I will make this as capital M, the answer is no, you cannot change, guys. This structure will remain intact irrespective if you are having 100 test cases, 1000 test cases. You cannot change this particular structure. Even if you modify anything, okay, if you say that, no, I want to change this return type to something like int, the answer is no, you cannot update, guys. Okay, please remember. Okay, so this structure will remain same. Okay, one more thing, the main method over here is accepting an argument of type string. Okay, can anybody tell me why this main method is accepting the argument as string? The basic questions, it may be an interview questions. Why it is having the string as an argument? Anybody wants to try? So you can unmute and speak up, guys. Why this main method is having string as an argument of type array? Because there is a square bracket, guys. Square bracket in Java symbolizes array actually. Okay, so I'm repeating my question. Why main method, okay, is accepting string as an argument of array type? Anybody wants to try? Okay, I can see one answer. Yes, that's a parameter, correct. Why only string? Why not integer? Why not float? Why not double? Okay, so perfect. Yeah, that is correct. Command line argument. So basically what happens is whenever we work with this thing, guys, right? The string arg is actually allow you to handle different type of input. Okay, when I say different type of input, when the actual you can say application start, guys. Okay, so string representation is actually common in all the, you can say, CLI argument part, because when you pass number, that also initially they are represented as a string. Okay, and they actually follow and you can say convert that respect to you can say string into respective data type, such as by using the method called as integer dot parse int. Those are the method basically. So with the help of that, initially they will accept that particular argument as of type string, but later on, based on the code whatever we write, it will internally convert into respective data type, guys. Okay, so that's the reason. And why ARGS? ARGS is the name of the array, guys. Okay, it's the name of the array. ARGS is what? It's the name of the array of type string. Okay, so it's again which is holding the command line argument actually. Okay, and again I'm repeating. If we are running the Java program, guys, you can run using command saying Java first test Java, and then you can pass the argument if you want. So each argument will store in actual string, which is represented as of type string. Okay, so I'm repeating again. Why string? Why args? The answer is because string is considered as a parameter in the command line argument, which is mostly whatever we pass, right? Whether it is numeric data, Boolean data, right? It is initially considered as string. Okay. And later on, whatever data type you have provided, right? It is actually converted into that particular data type. Why ARGS? ARGS is responsible for holding the arguments, guys. Okay. So whatever arguments we will be passing, right? It is actually considered as of type string, and it is holding into string, you can say type string array. Okay. So using string args, it is allowing us to run our test case. Okay, I'll showcase these examples in the coming session, how we are using the arguments. Right now over here also I can write a code which will accept this particular argument, and I can show that in the output console, guys. Okay. So I hope everyone are clear with the structure of the code, guys, because our structure will remain same, guys, throughout our Java related sessions. Okay, this will be our structure. Obviously, this constructor will not be there. Okay, and we will obviously remove these comments, which is not required right now. So I just wanted to cover one more topic. In Java, guys, we are having two types of comment. Okay, two types of comment. Okay, one is single line comment and second is multi-line comment. Okay, single line comment. So whatever right now I am writing, right, that is considered as single line comment. Okay, please understand this. And whatever you have seen in the above step, right, like starting with slash and then asterisk and then write something, keep on writing, keep on writing, keep on writing, and at the end you are writing asterisk and slash. Okay, so this particular syntax is nothing but the syntax of multi-line comment. Okay, so this is called as multi-line comment. So I hope everyone are clear with comment also. Very basics, single line comment and multi-line comment. I just wanted to highlight what are the usage of comment. The usage of comment is basically like those who wants to refer your code, right? They can refer initially the comment area. So like this is what constructor. But if let's say whoever is referring your code for the first time, he might not have the idea, right? So you can say that constructor to create object initially. Okay, so something like that. So you will write some plain English, you can say, so that whoever is referring your framework, they can have a high level understanding that this is what constructor. Later on, whatever is a functionality, that is a secondary thing. But initially, by reading the comment, whether it is single line, multi-line, they can have a high level understanding what all these steps are, what all these lines are. Okay. So I'll take a pause here, guys. Obviously, we'll talk about the detail, you can say, programs and everything in the coming sessions. I see a couple of raised hand. So let us go one by one. So yeah, I think Gopal, you were asking something. You can unmute and speak up. Uh, so those who are, let's say, speaking, please unmute and speak up, guys. Whatever queries, doubts, questions you have, please unmute and speak up. There was one raise hand. If you are speaking, Gopal, we are not able to hear you. You are unmuted, but we are not able to hear you clearly. I mean, there is no voice. You can share your queries, questions over chat window if possible, Gopal. Meanwhile, anybody like next who wants to ask query, doubts, questions, guys?
I have one question.
Go ahead, Anil, please.
Yeah, so this IntelliJ, like you were
Mm-hmm.
showing how to install that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it only available for 30 days, like the trial version, or is it like we can install it without worrying of
No,
it getting?
it is permanently free. The
Okay.
premium, you can say this thing, right? The premium part, subscription part, that is available only for 30 days. After that, they will ask for the subscription, this thing, amount. And that is usually used by the developer actually. For us, from the QA standpoint, it is not required. We
Okay.
can work
Okay.
on the free version, absolutely, like whatever we have. VS Code,
And
yeah, Anil, go ahead, please.
yeah, and like creating the like you created first project here, like uh, it's the same way in the IntelliJ, is it? Like the Eclipse
Same,
and the
same,
like you create the
same,
same way.
same way. No change,
Okay.
and everything is same. If you want to, let's say I created this project. Now, if I want to import this project into my IntelliJ, I can go to this particular location where my project got created, import that particular project in IntelliJ. No, you
Mm,
can say change. Everything is same.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have a question.
Go ahead, Gopal,
Are you
please.
able to? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It is about the class. You just created the first test Java, right? So is
Mhm.
that a parent class or child class, sir?
Yes. Yes. So I wanted to convey that I created first test Java. This is
Uh,
actually, you can, if those who are referring to Java code, they will say this is a parent class. Okay. But this is
But
a,
you mentioned that super class is parent class, that is first language, that something like that. So
whenever
I
you
just want.
create any class, right? Any class, if you create any class without writing a keyword called as extend, right? So there is one keyword called extend. If you don't provide that word, right? So what happens is this particular class is a child of a class called as object. Okay. It is what? It is a child of which class? It is a child of object class. Okay. Now, where is this object class? So what you can do over here, just write import java dot lang dot object. Okay. I'm just giving you a high level example, guys. Don't get this thing.
Oh,
So when you
okay,
write,
that is super class.
that is super class. You can do
Mm.
control and just hover your mouse over here. You can go to this particular class, which is read only class, guys. Okay. This obviously you will not be able to, but yeah, this is the parent class. For every class, whatever you create in Java, this is a parent class. Okay,
Okay.
clear? Yeah.
So if we have the keyword extends, that
That
is
time this
nothing
becomes,
but
yeah,
child class.
yes. Whatever we write extend ABC, correct? Example I'm giving. So what happens? Basically, this particular class ABC becomes a parent and this becomes a child at that time.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
that we will talk in the coming session.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarification.
Yeah. I see one query. Have you started automation class for today? You were telling. So guys, that's what I mentioned, Ravi. I will be sharing the detail. You can, because I will be talking about the manual testing concept when I'm doing the actual you can say programming practice actually. Okay. So I do have the, because this is little bit PPT type, and if I go through each one of this slide, so you guys can have just a look on this, because this is little non-technical, nothing is required, and you will be able to kind of have the complete detailed PPT around 7 to 8 session I do have. I'll share all the notes with you all. Okay, you can just refer, and at any point if you think that you didn't understood any of the manual testing concept, that's what I mentioned, you can please reach out to me, not a problem. Okay. And I see that one more query from VS Code related from Nile. Uh, Nile, it is absolutely fine if you want to use VS Code. It is same, no issue with that. Okay. VS Code has also got a beautiful interface, beautiful coding, you can say. Okay. So you can use the VS Code as well. Make sure you are following the folder structures and file and everything project structure. If you are following that with respect to whatever folder structure we do have for Maven project, then you can work with VS Code as well. That's not a problem. And even right now, whatever project I created, that also you can import into your VS Code. Okay, absolutely fine. You can run your test case from terminal and even like from your CLI as well. There is one more query. I think I want to know more about. Yes, because this is the first this thing. You can say class file which we created. We didn't run also, guys. So don't worry. Any which ways we will create lot of other class file, right? So at that time, I'll be talking in more detail about what is class, what is object, what is constructor. Okay, Vinodhi? Theory part, yes, obviously we'll talk about the theoretical part as well as practical implementation of the same thing at the same time. If I talk about constructor, right? What is constructor? Little bit theoretical, and the same how we are implementing in our practical. So we will have the detailed discussion on that. So theory part will be covered along with the practical implementation of that particular concept. Okay. Jayashree, yeah, you can refer the recorded session, Jayashree, not a worry. 20 minutes late, that's absolutely fine. Okay. You can refer at any point of time. Okay, you will get the recorded video. And I see Harjot having one query about Cypress. So it is better to have Java knowledge. The reason is JavaScript is something which will be kind of reflected in your this thing, Cypress. So obviously, JavaScript is built based on the Java syntax and Java structure, Java object-oriented programming concept. So it is better to have the knowledge on Java as well. Ravi, I mentioned in the yesterday's session, if you are having the exposure of 6 year or something, right? You can show the exposure of 2.5 to 3 approx into your resume while obviously showcasing your resume or like applying for any of the thing. At the end, you will be getting the certification for like once it is completed, Sandeep. Yes, ops, absolutely, Shaila, because object-oriented programming is required for all the framework, whether it is REST assured, whether it is page object, whether it is BDD Cucumber. For every framework, we will obviously use ops concept. Okay, and even the theoretical stuff also we will try to like we need to achieve. Okay, we need to cover all the theoretical topics of object-oriented programming.
And also about Cucumber, you mentioned that you are going to focus
Cover
on
yes.
Hello?
On
You're going to focus on mainly on TestNG, right? So
yes.
about the Cucumber, are you going to focus only basics, or in depth are you going to cover any
No, it will be
like with
complete end-to-end framework around 10 to 12 feature file. Okay.
okay.
And running them in over CI/CD Jenkins. Okay.
Mhm.
Whatever is like industry standards, right? With respect to creating a pipeline as well as creating a Jenkins file, stages, all the commands, whatever is required in our Jenkins. So that will be part of.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. It will help you to cover, prepare for the certification as well. Because as I will be covering the testing theoretical concepts as well, right? So because I might not be covering agile ceremonies and all those things, guys. Okay, like what are the agile methodologies? What is Scrum? What is let's say sprint ceremonies, sprint planning, all those concepts. But yes, at higher level, I'll just showcase or just try to make sure that you are how agile works. So obviously, all of you guys will be working already. But yes, those who are let's say new to agile, I'll try to show them how usually bugs are raised, how developer resolve those. So those concept I will try to cover. Those who are let's say I mean those who wants to ask your queries, they can stay on the call. Otherwise we are we will obviously talk about our Java related topics in detail in the tomorrow's discussion as well, guys. So we'll continue our discussion from where we are like over here. And please remember, guys, all the notes all the content, whatever I am writing, okay, everything will be published same day, okay, over one of the link I'll be providing in couple of days, okay, where you will see all the contents as well and all the artifacts also, guys. When I say artifacts or let's say deliverables, I'm talking about sample test scenario file, sample test case file, sample test plan file. So everybody can refer them at any point if you guys feel that no, I didn't understood requirement traceability matrix, I didn't understood why test plan is containing so many unwanted so and so entry exit criteria. So you can refer that document and you can come up with your query, doubt, questions, guys. Okay. So notes and everything will be shared once, let's say, session is completed, and you will get the link for that, the notes and everything. Perfect. So I think everybody are clear. Everybody are clear with the training, you can say, timeline and everything. So I'll stop here, guys. I'll stop my screen sharing. I'll stop the recording.
Yeah, I have one doubt.
Rita, go ahead, please.
Yeah, when we actually started working real-time projects, we'll get lot of issues and
Questions,
bugs
queries,
and
doubts.
yeah, questions. Actually, when you are working in the demo or any of these free projects, is that your support is will be like in WhatsApp or to put in what are the queries and to resolve the issues
Yeah, usually what I have is like about
after
my
this course? I'm
yes,
asking.
yes, correct, absolutely. So whatever my previous, you can say batches, I try to have at least 3 month buffer for, you can say in your real time project. So you can share your detail screenshot or whatever error you are getting over the this thing, WhatsApp. Okay. And if required, we will try to connect over Google Meet or something. Okay. So that you can, like, if it is possible, otherwise, let's say screen sharing or those things are not, you can say not allowed or something, right? In that case, I can share you some detail, what will be the steps to resolve that particular error. Okay, so I would consider 3 month buffer once the course is completed. So let's say the course is getting completed December end or something, right? So you can ask me query, doubts, question till I'll be available. That's not a problem, but still I'm giving you maximum 3 months. Okay, so you can ask your doubts, queries, whatever you are practicing within that time span.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Perfect.